second episode of the year and also our 31st episode. I'm Erica.
I'm Joyce.
I'm Darcy.
And I'm Aga.
Yay! Welcome, Erica.
Hey, thanks for inviting.
Yeah, it's such an this is our first episode with like 2 guests. And it's also the first episode where we actually have like a video recording of the podcast.
Indeed.
Yeah, so much to celebrate for.
Yeah, indeed. And just to start off our ritual of our podcast, we have to rate our weeks, right?
Yes.
All
Guys,
right.
join our rate. Well, we're gonna ask you guys first. How's your week, Aga?
1 to 10.
1 to 10. Maybe 7? I would say 7. Yeah.
Out of 100?
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Yeah, why so?
So usually I'm trying to be positive. So
That's a good thing.
The realistic rating would be maybe 5 out of 10, but the positive rating is 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some things didn't work out at work.
That's just
Just
life.
normal
Normal
life.
life,
Yeah.
yeah.
But besides that was great.
Well, is it a little bit of it does it have a little bit to do with our podcast? Maybe
Our
that-
hang
Oh yeah, so you see that elevated from 5 to 7.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's what we wanted to get out of you.
Yeah, elevated.
Okay. How about you, Darcy? Any thoughts?
Mr. Darcy.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for me. Actually, just 5 hours ago, I was like 3 out of 10, so gonna be honest with myself. But then I met you guys. We had like dinners, and we had like some sort of drinks and stuff. I mean, it's like,
Sort of drinks. We had drinks.
yes, and then I was like,
Quite a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
Decent amount of drinks.
Sort of drinks.
Yeah.
and I was happy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna rate like 8 out of 10.
Oh wow! It
But-
jumped from 3 to 8.
But now I'm getting sober,
elite.
guys. I'm getting sober.
slowly
It's dropping. It's
Okay.
getting dropped right now.
Okay,
so.
that's a good reminder that we have to go get more.
Yes. So my final score so far is 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's not
It's a
too bad.
comfortable number. How
Yeah.
about you, Erica?
Honestly, despite right now, tonight is like since 7 p.m. it's all on a high. But before that, I think I was mostly at a 5. This week has been such a long ass week for me.
Is it like I'm trying to get why is it so long? Is it because it's Chinese New Year's coming up and like all the work is like starting to pile up right before the
before
start
the
of the
Chinese
break,
New
right?
Year.
Like, that's what I'm assuming. Like, but I don't know about you guys and your working culture if that's really the case. But that's like really my case. So I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. kinda.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the reasons, and also because like right before that is Christmas, right? Christmas, the entire December, people were just like slacking off,
On
not really
holidays.
wanting to work, mostly on holiday mood. So, and then it's January. It's like, you know that New Year's scene where everyone is like signing up for gym membership and like, doing a lot more workouts, a
Yeah.
lot more like New Year's resolution, and just like stick with it for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just drop out of it.
Yeah.
It's like that phase.
We're going through this phase.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Everyone's just like pretending to really work their ass off
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
first 3 weeks of January.
And then the burnout starts.
Exactly. And I'm like one of those like victims to be trapped
You're, like,
into this
guilty.
like New Year's resolution phase.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
normal. This too shall pass. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This all shall pass.
Yeah.
So how's your week?
My week, I would say, well, you guys give it a 7. Everybody, were you a 7?
I said 5.
Oh, you said 5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I said 5.
I would give it a good 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I came back from Bali and now everything is like starting to like get back to normal and like work, exercise, friends. So everything is like balancing really well.
Yeah.
So in light of that, I'll give it an 8. Like nothing really bad happened. So
Good for you.
That's good.
for you.
Yeah.
it's a good thing to be positive about, right?
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Something to look forward for the rest of the 11 months.
For sure.
Okay, so what are we doing here today? Well, we actually haven't really introduced our guest, so
Yes.
a little bit of an introduction. Aga, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So my name is Aga.
Yeah,
My full name is
Agnieszka Monika Leslie.
Anashka Lishara.
She says it better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good now. Yeah,
Good.
it just people just call me Aga.
Yeah.
What do you usually say on a podcast? You just say name, I guess. What else do you guys say usually?
You
What
can
else
say a little bit about
anything?
where you're born and raised.
Oh,
what
sure.
are your interests?
Okay.
What you do for work?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was born in Poland. I'm Polish. I was raised there, and I stayed in Poland until I was 16, and then I moved to India. I lived there for 2 years, and then I moved to Hong Kong, and I've lived
Here
for
since.
I think it's last 7 years. I think this is
Yeah.
8th year actually.
Wow.
In
PR.
Hong Kong. PR. Yes, PR.
All of us Hong Kongers.
And I'm a PhD student. I study in HKUST in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. How about you, Darcy?
So I'm Darcy Shin. My real name is Unji. I was born in Korea. I grew up there. Also 16. At the age of 16, I flew to China. So I studied my high school there for like 3 years. And then I moved to Hong Kong for same uni as Aga and you, Erica. And then 4 years program, but I took gap year, and then that time I flew to Taiwan. Probably you guys have the episode of Taiwan, right? So I flew to Taiwan. I met this girl.
Time of our life.
Yeah, that was like
Prime.
Life of the
prime, my prime time.
Yes.
And then after I came back, I finished my study, graduated, and I started working in Hong Kong. Yeah. So it's been 4 years working.
Yeah.
So studying and school brought you guys initially to Hong Kong, both of you guys, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
For me at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious though, this is you guys' 7th, 8th
I think
year,
it's
right?
eighth,
7th,
right?
8th year?
Technically, this is my 10th year because I
Wow,
joined
a decade.
school 2013.
Oh, then it's my 9th year.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean Hong Kong or
Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong.
Yeah,
Hong Kong,
Hong
right?
Kong,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that's 9th year. Yeah.
That's a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to be in a relationship with someone, to like stay
Yeah.
at a place. Like, what
Yeah.
made you guys want to stay in Hong Kong? Like, what is the intention in you
Say
guys?
first.
I mean, so I came here for study first, right? And after graduated, I like the city. I feel like I haven't explored much yet. By the time
After
I
10
graduated.
years. Oh.
No. I mean, right after I graduated.
After 10 years.
no.
That's just like too much studying.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, I'm talking about like back in
Hardworking
time.
girl.
Because okay, I have to clarify myself. So after graduating, I got to choose whether I stay here or I fly back to Korea or I fly somewhere else for work, right? But I decided to stay here and continue working or like start working because I like the city. And then I always wanted to like study and work abroad. Preferably in Greater China. So I used to study, like I used to live in China, and then during the exchange I went to Taiwan, right? So it's kind of intentions, you know. I wanted to try all different places in Greater China and see which place that I like to start my working life. And I was like, Hong Kong is perfect for me, you know. I have actually most of my friends are here. Yeah, and then I like the city. That it's very small, but everything's so compact and so much fun there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I studied in some school that's isolated from the city, so I feel like I haven't explored the city, which is so much fun. So I was like, okay, yeah. And then there are more opportunity in terms of work, you know, like still. Yeah, so I was like, yeah. And then I love to study. I didn't think that much, like, oh, like, should I stay or not? I feel like it was kind of default for me to stay here and working, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
How about you, Alka?
So I came here in, I think, 2014. And originally when I came to Hong Kong, I came for university. So as I said before, I lived in India. And actually, I never considered Hong Kong as an option to study here. But then one of my English teachers back in India, she told me, oh, you know, there's this university. It's called like Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. And I know you're really interested in science. And I think you should apply. And I think it would be a great place for you to go. And then she showed me a campus. And obviously campus looks amazing, right? So I was like, oh, yeah, makes sense, you know? But I didn't know before coming here that all the courses are in English.
Okay.
So my original thinking was that I should never apply to Hong Kong because the courses will be in
part of China,
Cantonese. Yeah.
Chinese or Cantonese.
Exactly. So I thought, okay, then there's no point of me to
Yeah.
even apply to unis here. But then I did research and I realized, oh, actually courses are in English. And, oh, the uni looks great. I like the curriculum. So then I just
And the name
I
is
just
like
went for it.
self-explanatory. It's like science and technology.
Yeah, exactly. So I just went for it. And then
Yeah.
later when I came here, I really liked it. And I think I stayed mainly for the people. So after 4 years, I met my friends here. And I kind of created like my own community here. So I really think that I wouldn't stay so long in Hong Kong if it was not for the people. Yeah. And for the culture. But I guess people create culture, right? So it's both.
Always.
Yeah, so it's both. Yeah, but I mean, I also stayed because I really like Hong Kong as a city. I like this kind of mix of, Eastern and Western culture together. And I like the fast pace of the city. Yeah, so I like it, and I'm planning to stay for some longer time.
I mean, compared to where you guys are, like, grew up in, I would say you majority of the time is Poland, right? And I guess for Darcy, can I say it's Korea or is it like China? Because like for you, it's like half and half-ish.
I think I grew up in Korea most of the time, right?
Yeah. So in Korea.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, like, compared to where you guys are from, do you sometimes think Hong Kong's a little too much of like the pace is too fast? Because that's what I guess a lot of my other like expat friends sometimes were like, they just don't understand why do you guys have to like walk so fast, talk so fast, like why everything has to be like a bit of a hustle. Like, well, why are you guys always like in such a rush? Like, why can't you just like slow down and like enjoy life a little?
Oh, okay. Then I have to compare to my life back in China instead of Korea, because Korea and Hong Kong I think pretty much the same.
That's true.
In terms of my pace of life, it's very
Yeah.
city life. China back in time, maybe because I was like, I don't know, kind of chill place, I would say. Like I really loved living in China. I really loved living in Taiwan as well. I love all the cities.
Guangzhou, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So compared to my time, maybe because I was in high school as well, like uni life is way more like intense than high school life. But I feel like yes, Hong Kong definitely be more fast paced, more competitive. But as much as you know, like things are fast, like you get more time or space to doing more things, right? You know, like
You can achieve more things.
Yeah, you can achieve more things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It pushes you to your limit.
Yeah. Sometimes I miss like my life back in Guangzhou, but I feel like it's more about the balance,
That's true.
I feel for my it's chill. I'm in 20s, kind of. So I rather like try to be an overachiever. I try to achieve a lot in my life, but from time to time when I need a full break, then I might go back to Guangzhou or Taiwan, so that I can get my life back, like collecting it back, and then go back to Taiwan. I go back to Hong Kong.
Taiwan.
Sorry, I'm stuck in
Taiwan.
So I need. I think it's more about the balance, But Hong Kong is pretty fast compared to all the other cities that I used to live.
Well, I think for you guys, like, you guys been here for like so many years, and you guys, are roommates, and the fact that they both shared to us about your New Year's Eve, like what you guys did, it was like very like low key. It was very like comfortable and just wholesome. Like, I think you guys are very good at finding like a place, like your safe haven or like your apartment, to find a place where you can like actually wind down and slow down and relax. Like, I think you guys are able to find that, and despite of outside of work and like Hong Kong fast pace, you're able to find that good balance that you have in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, that's so true.
Because also I think because we don't live on the island.
Exactly.
Yeah, we live quite far away from city center.
So it's like a little bit away from the hustle, right?
Right. So we don't really see the kind of rush.
I always like live far away from the city. I think that's me. Like that's true.
I think so. I mean, I'm not sure because I've known you a little less, but I also know you a lot longer, and I also met you a lot more frequent. I would say, even though you've been in Hong Kong all these years, I still see you not really losing that part of yourself as like very, very chill. I mean, like, it's like I can see Darcy Shin when everyone is like on their 2x speed, just like walking all the way to the end point. She'd be like walking the other way around in her 1x speed. She's in her own pace, which
great.
in a way it's a good thing because you are not that
highly affected.
Highly affected or influenced by other people necessarily. And good for you guys. Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you. I take it as a compliment,
sure.
I mean,
It
sometimes
is.
when you live in Hong Kong as expat, sometimes you need your own pace and not losing it, you know?
Yeah.
If you get influenced by people, I mean, this is the culture, right? That's working culture here and living culture here. It's good to catch up with that, and it's good to be aligned with how other people live in here, but also at the same time you have different background, right? You have different culture. Like it's kind of mixture of everything. I feel like part of me, a lot from Hong Kong, you know what I mean? Like I've been living here for almost 10 years. My 20s are all dedicated to Hong Kong, you know? So, but then
It's not over yet.
but but then given that, like, you try to just keep your own values yourself, and try to keep up your own pace.
And then in terms of because you guys are both studied in Hong Kong, and then now that you are working here, right? Do you find, like, what is like the biggest difference between those two, like as an expat working here? Like any moments where you're like, oh wow, it's like very different from when I studied? Or
Because I'm still studying technically, so maybe.
But you know, I see you are still in school, but it's more like working than studying. You know, because you work.
Yeah, the I guess the mode of studying is different.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just you are mostly in a campus environment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I guess that's the difference between me and you, right?
Yeah,
like you actually go
working,
to like a company building. Meanwhile go to campus, right? But you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, I do kind of follow this kind of working like style, right, of living right now.
It's not too much of a difference.
No, but it's still not too much of a difference.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah, I still have to take courses, study, do lab work,
and you're still in that environment too.
Yeah, and I still I'm still in that environment.
I guess it has a lot to do with the work culture, because the people around you is like still more or less the same people who you study with. So
I feel like for me, physical environment is very different. So we used to be all isolated, and there's an area called Clearwater Bay. Clearwater Bay is not Hong Kong. Okay, it's not correct. So what I meant is, like, it's very far away from the city. So
it's not civilized.
It's very beautiful.
Far from civilization.
It's very beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. Now I think about it, I should have appreciated it more. It's very beautiful campus. But I mostly stayed there, right? So until I graduated, I didn't know how to find a ways in Central. I always get lost, you know. So now I'm working in Central.
Is that why it took you so long to come to the bar today?
No.
It's a different reason.
Okay, I'm gonna confirm you another time. Go ahead.
But yeah, so now things change. It's way more like city centric. The restaurants that I go to are different. And,
I can tell.
yeah. Transportation I'm taking are different.
I can tell.
That's physical environment that has changed. In terms of work, people, to be very honest, compared to uni life, I'm in way more diverse culture. Like, it's more international than uni. I think we have international students. We're one of them. But I think majority of international students are Koreans, Indians, and other countries. I mean,
other countries.
I mean, that was the proportional, that's how I got impression,
Actually, USD, we always say it's more like 30% local, and then like 40% a mix of like Koreans and Indians. And then the rest is like, from all other different countries.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously dominated by local students, right?
Right. Exactly. I feel like. Well, but,
Yeah, I don't know.
We have quite a lot of also like Indonesians.
We have the Indonesian society.
We're quite diverse, let's say, at university.
That's true.
I think it's not a problem of the diversity of the student body. I think the problem is that everyone, even the student body is diverse, everyone's sticking to their own groups.
That's
Well, I never said,
you're not forced to. Like,
I never said diversity is the problem, by the way.
Understood.
No, different. I'm saying like we think that the campus was maybe not diverse enough because now at work you're saying it's more diverse, right?
Yeah,
I'm saying it's not that
I
at work
got
it's
it.
more diverse. It's just our campus was
more
equally
community.
diverse.
Yeah.
It's just that people
Yeah.
stick to their own groups.
I think
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Right?
I
Like if
think
you have Korean group, then they're all Korean,
Yeah.
and you know,
that's so true.
plus Aga maybe.
Even
That's
more
so
That's
But I mean,
Strong
I get
community.
what she's really saying is that, like when we're studying, we're really not like we don't really have to deal with that much people, like the people of different diversity every day.
No.
So you stick with your comfort zone, right?
Well,
Which is
yeah, kind of like you don't necessarily want to stick with a certain group, but it's just that because you don't have to to like reach out
That's
to
true.
different
Yeah.
to other people. So yeah, that just really don't happen to most of us. And at work, it's like you don't have a choice. So
Right.
whatever
That's
comes
true.
to you just like, oh, your client come in, oh, he's from like I don't know, like different other country, or maybe she's from Africa. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So you just have to pick up and you have to start dealing with the client. So it's just it comes to you, you just take it.
I think it's my personal experience because
Yeah.
majority of friends that I met in uni are pretty much similar background, even if you're from a different country. But at work right now, that I meet a lot of people from different university across different worlds, and yeah, that's a slight difference. But I feel like in terms of people, I still meet nice people. I was surrounded by all nice people back in uni, and right now at work as well. Yeah, so I think the biggest difference is physical environment that I'm in. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you guys think that, like, in your 20s, when we're all in our 20s, do you think it's necessary to experience, life studying abroad? Like, how true is this statement, and how important do you think it is? Like, say we have, like, I don't know, listeners that are, like, just started college, or someone who is, I don't know, getting into college, like, or looking to study abroad. Like, would you guys advise them to do it? And if so, why, right?
I mean, I would advise them if they can do it, because I know not everyone, is capable of doing it because of whatever financial reasons, family issues, right? But I think if you can, I would recommend it. Now, if you cannot, I think it's still okay. I don't think that studying abroad is like a necessary component
It's like
of
a
growing
must,
up.
right?
It's like a must of growing up.
Yeah.
I think there are people who stayed in one country for their entire life, and they're great, and they're still,
Doing
surrounded.
great
Yeah,
things.
they're doing great things. They're open-minded, and I have a lot of Polish friends that have never been abroad, for example, and they're still great, doing great. So it's just a matter of maybe, I don't know, perspective and what you want to do in your life. So for me, for example, I really liked traveling before. So I already knew when I was very young, I'm going to go out and study abroad. But if people don't have that mindset and that dream, I think that's okay. Then they just do something else.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, for me, yeah, under the good conditions that it's free will for you to go abroad, I think it really depends. For me, I had a very strong rationale, like, to convince my parents that I want to study abroad and I live abroad. That could be one case. But let's say, just generally speaking, let's say 20% of the students will know what they want to do in the future. But 80% of the time, 80% of the students will not know. That's very okay. It's very normal. You don't know what to do because you have limited experience yet, right? If that's the case, you don't know what kind of directions you're going for, then I highly recommend you to try study abroad. Live abroad, or at least travel abroad for long term. They kind of give you a lot of insights. That's my personal experience. I feel like my personality has changed a lot. Still, I have my core personality, but I think you put a lot of colors on that. And then you met a lot of different people from different backgrounds. That's very important. Unity, like community, is important too. But sometimes when you get out of your comfort zone, then you finally meet like values that you never aware, but something you find that, oh, that's the thing for me.
I mean, if say the scenario is like, oh, you're still in Poland, you're still in Korea, and right now there comes a chance when you can, like, I suppose you guys are both working, right? You can finally work abroad. Would you take that chance?
Yeah.
At this age?
At this age.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, because I still don't have family, right? I think if you have a family, that's slightly different, right?
So your borderline is like, if you have a family, then things might change.
Things may change.
Think a little deeper about it.
Yes,
right?
you have to consider other factors,
Right.
right? But now if you don't have a family, if you're single, I think
Yeah.
if you can, sure, and go for it, I would say.
Fair enough.
I initially had a plan to move to somewhere else at the age of 30, which I'm reaching very soon.
Is that plan still standing?
Oh,
I mean, that still stands, the plan.
Still.
Where you wanted to go?
I initially wanted to go to Shanghai at the age of 30. But I'm
Shanghai
still.
specifically?
I think when I first time like got out of Korea and went to China, I feel like I wanted to study Chinese, English, and I wanted to do something in China. That time I thought, oh, there are so many opportunities in China, that kind of stuff. But after graduating my uni, I was like, oh, my Mandarin is not good. And then, maybe I said,
Darcy and her Mandarin.
my Mandarin is a problem.
But you understand it like completely, right?
Not completely. I was like, okay.
Quite well, I think.
I think understanding is fine. Understanding is fine. So I was like, maybe, I practice my Mandarin more, and then if I get good chances, and then I got my career here, and then get chances there, opportunities there, and I might. That's one of the thinkings. I always think a lot. I can go to Singapore. Maybe I go back to Korea. Take care of my parents. China was the one. Oh, I think it's the next step I can try.
You can, definitely.
I still can try. But something that there's like some to-do list or the things to achieve before I move to Shanghai, but I haven't got the ticket yet. So
You're still checking.
my Mandarin is one of them.
I'll help you. I'll help you achieve it.
I know. So it's one of my resolutions. Practice more Mandarin.
Practice more Mandarin.
That's one.
You said that with Cantonese too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, someone said they're gonna speak with me in Cantonese from then on.
And it's 2023.
It's happening soon, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always have that kind of at the age of this I may try different places and I may meet new people and there are new things. Yeah.
We all have that.
But I feel like
checklist.
now Hong Kong is kind of like comfort zone for me. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the year goes by and you feel like when you think of going somewhere else and then start from scratch, meeting new people and stuff. I feel like I get concerned way more than back in time.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you're
that's
like, I want to do this. I'm gonna try this. But now, what if I don't make any friends here?
There's more concerns.
More
that you
concerns.
have.
Yeah. That's
We
the
have
one thing.
we have a saying in Poland that you're not supposed to uproot old trees.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're old, but I'm saying that the older you get, you know what I mean.
That's why
You know what I mean.
when you are not married yet, then at least you get
some
Yeah.
at least you get less things to worry about, right? So you
Yeah.
definitely should try before you get a
But also at the same time, I do know people with kids who are married. Because in Poland, we tend to marry earlier and have kids earlier compared to, for example, other Western countries or I would say even Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong people marry pretty late in life, actually.
That fluctuates.
Really?
These few years, people marry quite early because of, I think, COVID is part of the
COVID
reason.
sped
Exactly.
COVID changed everything.
Damn, life is short. It's like, damn, we got nothing to do. Might as well make some babies.
Yeah, might as well.
There are so many reasons.
That's true. But I mean, even if you are married and have kids, I think it's not impossible to move around.
True,
People
too.
do live that kind of lifestyle.
It really depends on the mindset.
Yeah, I think it
really
depends on the
think so,
mindset.
yeah.
I think so. So yeah, just curious. Since you guys have both lived in Hong Kong for such a long time, is there anything that you really don't like, or like your least favorite part about Hong Kong?
I was gonna ask the favorite, but we can go that way.
Kind of the favorite.
Really?
It's like
What's your
the
favorite?
mix of Eastern and Western, and for her, what's your favorite?
What was my
Converse
favorite?
zone is like a favorite.
Converse zone is my.
What is your favorite part?
I actually didn't mention that.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like stuff that you like about Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah.
So I assume there's no
Let's
favorite.
It could be anything. It could be like a particular food or anything.
Well, I don't know. I feel like this city is so comfortable.
See, comfort zone. I got that word. That one word.
You got that out of the entire conversation.
Yeah.
okay to be
interpretation.
Safe place for me.
That's good. That's a good
That's
answer.
good.
Yeah, I like it.
Wait, how about you? I want to ask you.
Yeah.
My favorite part about the city?
Favorite thing? Anything?
It's hard because I really like grew up in here.
Oh yeah, but pick one.
Convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really it's convenience. As in, I'm not talking about like practical stuff like
Transportation is not that, right?
not well. That of course is like is a very crucial part of life. Or you know, if I need any mats or whatever, I can just go to an OK or 7-Eleven and get it. But I'm not really talking about. I'm really talking about like if I like today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday morning. I wake up. I think about what am I gonna do on Saturday morning, and I think about how about I go hiking, and I can literally just like take on a 30 minutes ride to like somewhere close by, and then start a hike up, and then after that. I reached the top, and I was like, what am I gonna do next? And I want to go out to Central and get some, you know, get a quick bite, get a brunch, and I can already travel another 30 minutes, and I'll get to Central. That's the kind of convenience that you're probably not gonna get in any other city. Even say Singapore or like Taiwan, it's actually not that accessible anywhere else compared to Hong Kong. And that's the kind of stuff that I guess a lot of people really have a thing for.
One thing I realized, maybe I'm very wrong, I haven't explored much about Bangkok, but I went to Bangkok a few weeks ago, right? It was my first time actually, so I should explore more. But the impression I got, Bangkok is way bigger than Hong Kong. It's way bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why. Because after Bangkok, I realized actually Hong Kong, you know, each district is very. You know what this district is for, you know? Like this district is for shopping, this district is for working, you know? Even like you know what kind of industries are dominant there.
Yeah.
So you know that each district has that particular characteristics, you know, or something that you go there for. There's a clear purpose going there. Bangkok, I think the things are more spread out, maybe because as a city is bigger. And then that's why people say Hong Kong is so convenient, because you know
where to go to for
exactly. Yeah.
You can be focused. Like you have a target. This is my goal for today. I can go here and get that achieved.
That's the difference I found. Actually.
Interesting.
I think so.
I never thought about that.
What's yours?
I was thinking, I was like, you guys all said everything. I have to think of something new. But I think for me, like recently would be like how fruitful and how there's like everything that I need here in terms of like anything that is like as specific as it gets, right? So say like, as I love dancing, if I wanted to do like this specific like hip hop dance, like I know exactly where to go and like how to research and where to find this teacher. Whereas if I had to like, say if I had to live in LA, then like how far do I have to drive to this one particular place to take this one class? Where, you know, it's the convenience of it too, like bringing back to that. And then say like if I wanted to get my nails done, there's like 50,000 stores in Hong Kong that I could easily go to and access to, right? It's just like, and there's like all these patterns, all these colors, like they have everything, all the information. So I think it's just, I can't find anywhere that accessible to everything all at once in a short span of time. It's like something that I value a lot, living in Hong Kong. Right?
I think so.
So yeah, that's something.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I mean, if you really have to specify a thing that you don't like, though. Or you can just say none.
There are a lot of things I don't like.
I don't want to know.
I think if I have to choose one thing, because there are a lot of things I like, right? That's why I stay here. But of course, there are also some things I don't like.
There's give and take.
Yeah, I think if there was one thing I'd choose, then maybe it's materialism. Extreme materialism. Yeah, I think that's I think that's something that still bothers me that I haven't experienced back in Poland. Maybe because I'm also not from I'm not from Warsaw, for example. I'm from a smaller city.
Right.
So obviously we do have some economic disparities in Poland, obviously, but I think Hong Kong is quite extreme on that. If you go to the city, it's very extreme, and it's very hard to watch sometimes, and how people you know, follow the
That
money.
trend.
Yeah, that trend of money. Smell the money and go after it. It's bothersome to me. Yeah, but besides that, I think it's all good.
Okay, that's literally a topic for another time. I really want to talk about like materialism, and this is something that I often experience myself. But this, half coming from Hong Kong, half it's personal experience and everything. It's hard to get rid of, I would say.
Yes.
It's
Because
really
that's the
hard.
culture here, right? And you
Yes.
kind
So
of
does
trying to
English.
buy into that
Yeah.
after some time.
Yeah.
And also because Hong Kong is such a hard city to live in, it's one of the most expensive cities.
Correct.
Then of course, if you don't have money here, then that's a problem, right? So you don't want to live on a street,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to probably, make money. I don't know, the center of your world. So
Right.
you have to fit somewhere in between, and I think to find that balance, that's very difficult in Hong Kong.
I think
especially.
so. I agree.
That's a good point.
That's something very easily get influenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So that's my number one, I think, in Hong Kong.
For me, I think that's something might be applicable for any country if you're expat. Like accessibility to the society, like communities.
That's something you don't like?
No, I
find
mean
it
like I
hard
feel like it's limited. That
For
I can
expats?
access to
Really?
for as an expat.
Like how so?
For example, like local communities. It's because of the language. I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's the
practice
language
my
barrier that makes it.
Yeah, language barrier.
It's Cantonese, not Mandarin that we speak.
Exactly. So
It's
yeah,
not
I know.
Mandarin.
I think it's also our
I
problem,
didn't-
Darcy. It's
I
our
said
fault.
I said language.
Okay. Sorry,
Did I say
sorry.
Mandarin? Maybe
See,
I'm still
I'm being
drunk.
overly sensitive. I'm sorry. Okay.
I didn't say anything. I said language.
Okay.
Cantonese. Yeah. Yeah.
I think language is a huge barrier though.
Yeah, I can understand if you live in other countries that have local language and if you don't learn it,
Yeah.
then
It's always
there
hard
always
to-
There'll always be
it's
that
always
barrier, yeah.
there's always a limit for you to get access to that local strong community, you know. But I think Hong Kong, one thing is because the second like official language is English, right? If you speak like English, then you don't find much of need to practice Cantonese. To be very honest, like you can, you can communicate.
You can get by.
You can survive.
Yeah.
You can survive. So that's why, compared to those people living in other countries like Japan, Korea, you might find less need to practice Cantonese, and it's my bad. But it kind of makes me feel like, there's a limit
Right.
for me to get access to
True.
the community.
I really feel for it. Honestly, even though this podcast we conducted in English, I'm a proud Cantonese speaker, and sometimes I feel like it's a bit of a shame in a sense where people from all the countries are so proud of like say in France, if you can't speak French, people won't bother talking to you.
Yeah.
Korea, Japan as well. Taiwan, actually, same. But in Hong Kong, it's like, if you don't speak in Cantonese, 冇所謂, it's okay. And we start talking in English.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
once people start talking in English, it's like,
There's
like,
no need to learn Cantonese.
yeah, and they just instantly feel kind of like superior because they speak English. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Honestly,
really?
it's just another language, and honestly, it's a mother language, but
Is English your mother tongue, or would you consider
no.
Cantonese to be your mother tongue?
Definitely
Cantonese.
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 Yeah,
You
definitely
too, right?
Cantonese.
For me, I think it's a little bit of both. To be
Oh,
honest,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because my parents or my mom, she like really wanted me to study in like an international school, so I had to be really like prepared early on, and I was like engaged in a lot of television, like English television, English books, and like videos and stuff. So I would say now, like I'm more comfortable in English. Like, I think in English.
Oh,
And I
okay.
have to like translate back.
Do you speak English at home with your parents? Or do you speak
No, I speak Cantonese.
You speak
But with my
Cantonese.
boyfriend, I speak
English.
we're more comfortable in English. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you speak Cantonese at home, or Cantonese?
Actually,
right?
90% of the time, except when I'm.
How about at work?
Only
At
with
work
us.
is-
Yeah, I was gonna say, except when I'm at work sometimes, and when I'm with English speaking friends. I mean, I've no issue. I'm not against like speaking in either language, but I'm just saying that I kind of feel like it's it's sad that some people from our community would find it not something to be proud of when they speak in Cantonese, or they would.
Why?
I don't. again, that's for another time.
Yeah.
That's another whole episode, talk about like history, the culture, and everything. But let's leave it for another time. I guess we should wrap it up. Do you guys want to? Last questions I really want to ask, if you don't mind me asking.
Go for it.
It's just so seeing so many expats just like leaving Hong Kong one after another. That's a fact, I guess. Does that affect how you feel towards the city? How you feel towards like staying in here? But does it actually change your mind about
Do you have a lot of like friends, like expat friends that actually left for the past few years?
No,
like,
actually, majority of my friends stayed here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, despite
That's
COVID.
surprising.
Yeah, it's quite surprising.
Yeah.
I actually don't know anyone among my friends
Really?
who left Hong Kong during the pandemic.
Have you guys ever talked about it as to like why?
Yeah. I mean, of course, but because now I think we've survived the most difficult period, right? And
So you might as well
COVID
stay for the easy part.
You might as well stay for the easy part, right? And also, I think nowadays, even though some people left, new people will come. Right, because maybe people, Hong Kong will open up, people will see it, and
there's always people coming in.
right, coming in and coming out, right? So, and I think it's just a matter of life. I mean, people always,
come and go?
come and go.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, even if you're in another city, same thing may happen. So I might as well, if I've already have some roots here,
Established.
yeah, I'm established here, then I might as well focus on life here, and hopefully people will come back.
Yeah, actually, none of my friends left.
None of our friends left.
Yeah.
We're very happy here.
That's the comfort zone,
That's why the comfort
Yeah,
zone. It's a
yeah.
full circle.
That's a safe place,
That's great for you guys, like your
Yeah.
friends are here and you guys don't have family members like
No.
here, right? So for you guys, to be honest, like family equals friendships. Friends.
Yes.
So that's why when you guys were like, oh, the priority was community, the priority was people, it's because you treat them as your family, right? And that's why you lean on to them so
Well, yeah,
much,
I mean, we
right?
spend every
Wow.
day, every Christmas together, Chinese New Year. That's the truth. That's the truth.
to cringe it to say that, but yeah, we kind of like treat each other like
New Year,
yeah.
birthday, all the birthdays.
Yes.
See each other way too often.
Every
Yeah.
day,
Every-
day and night.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more question though before we end. I guess lastly, like a takeaway, like I would say you guys are pretty experienced like living abroad, right? Like you like built your root here from ground up yourselves. What would be like the one thing that you would want to share to our audience in terms of like any advice or someone who is about to go study abroad, like how to like prepare themselves mentally, or what are some things you can actually prepare to like help you better the experience of living abroad?
I think you have to change your mindset in a sense that when you go somewhere, like for example, when you go to uni, I don't think maybe try not to stick with people from your
That's a
own
really good
background.
advice.
I would really recommend that.
Yeah.
Because when I came here, okay, there are not a lot of Polish people in our school. I think there are almost none. So I didn't have a choice, right? I have to find some group to fit in.
Right.
But like I never thought, for example, that I'll meet Darcy and Darcy will be my friend. I didn't know much about Korea when I met her, right? Besides like K-pop and some standard stuff, right? But somehow after I met my Korean friends, I became a part of this Korean group. And then I realized we actually have a lot in common. More in common than we think. I think there are a lot of universal experiences that we both experience, but we would never know about it before prior, because we wouldn't speak. Right. If there were other Polish people that I would stick with.
Yeah.
So actually maybe in that sense I'm kind of lucky. There were no Polish people, so I had to find someone else, and I found Darcy and my other friends. So but not everyone's that lucky. So I think if you have like your own cultural group that comes with you to university, it's okay to have, obviously, to keep in touch with them, but you should also explore other people of other backgrounds as well.
For sure. How about you, Darcy? Any advice? What worked for you? What worked for you?
Thinking about it.
Every single question I think very carefully. That's why in the beginning I was like, but who am I to advise? That's like
who am I to say?
Who am I to advise anyone? But then my personal experience, whenever I had to make decisions, I didn't think too much. Don't overthink it. Just decide and go for it.
Yeah.
Like when I first time went to China for study, like I didn't think too much. I thought for one day I decided I just drop out of my school and I was like, let's go, daddy. My daddy was like, what? My dad like very shocked. And I was like, you know, I think there's a one clear thing you really want to try, then don't think about other things.
That's a good piece
It's
of
really
advice.
nice.
Yeah.
And then when I decided to come to Hong Kong, I didn't think too much. I was like,
Yeah.
try. I like the city.
Basically, we don't
And then I
think too
decided
much.
to stay in Hong Kong. I didn't think that much. I was like, let's try. You know, I never experienced working in Hong Kong. You know, you don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
turns out how it works.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, when you think less and when you don't overthink, you actually open up a lot more opportunities that come to yourself because you're more welcoming of it, right? You're more like accepting of everything. So in that way, you grow even more and you become, you know, more positive and a happier person and just you appreciate the process, right? And you appreciate the experience.
Yeah,
So.
it was a great experience.
Yeah. Anything you experience abroad, not failure. I don't know. There might be, depends on how you define, but that's experience.
Yeah.
Experience every single experience. Maybe something that you didn't really have to experience, where it's good to experience, but any experience will become a good nutrition for your life. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vice
I
versa.
agree.
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Want to say thank you guys for taking the time
Thank you for
to
having
come on
us.
up
Thank
and
you for
share.
being our first co-guest.
Yeah,
Cool.
and share you guys' words of wisdoms and experience.
Yeah.
It's very much appreciated. Thank you guys.
Thank you for giving us your Friday night. I know it's very precious.
Time to go party.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fully sober now.
I know. You're about to get more.
We understand that.
Yeah, so thank you guys again, once again. We hope that if you guys haven't yet follow us on Instagram. It's @hyperpeaches. And we also have a Facebook page. Also at hyperpeaches.
And our YouTube account now.
Hope your day is as peachy as this episode.
Talk to you in the next one.